Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us again on another Friday morning for one of our weekly live videos where we chat about everything regarding buying, selling, and investing in real estate, financing, of course. If you haven't met yet, my name is Angela Olmos. I am full-time realtor in the Northeast Florida area. I'm with Momentum Realty. And I have my co-host, Delaney Bravo, here with Fiverr Mortgage. How you doing today, Delaney?
I am good. I'm good. Excited to kind of talk about some fun stuff. We got some good topics today. So we do this every Friday, 10 a.m. And you can find it on Facebook. I think it also goes, is it YouTube as well?
Yeah, it's streaming onto my YouTube channel and my Facebook. And yeah, so you'll find us here. Please share the link with anyone that could benefit from this. This is like really good topics for anyone that's interested in buying, selling, or investing in real estate. And it could really just help them have a much better experience.
Yes. Awesome. Awesome. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited for the weekend. Hopefully, this light rain that's on today will go away and we can, have some fun in the sun.
Yes. Yes.
So, what I wanted to share with you guys today is something interesting that popped up on my blog, and just so that everyone knows, I get my information from Keeping Current Matters, which they get their information from like the National Association of Realtors and like really solid places where you could rely on the info. And they had some metrics this week that I thought would be interesting to note because these are the housing trends that we're seeing here now in 2023. And when it comes to like new listings coming on the market, which are basically like the fresh new homes that are available for buyers, we have seen a decline of the number of listings coming on the market. And this isn't just here locally, but all across the country. We're down by 25.7% based on the new listings that we had at the same time just last year. And then down by 3% just based on the new listings that we had just over a month ago, just a month ago. So fewer sellers are putting their homes on the market right now, and that's a big reason why the housing supply is so limited. So total housing inventory. Now this deals with like the whole set of homes that people can choose from, and inventory is still very low. So not just the new listings, but everything in the market. The inventory is still very low, and that's creating competition amongst buyers. And of course, we're still seeing some multiple offer scenarios popping up. So there has been a little bit of a change. There has been a 13.6% change from the same time last year. So we're less by 13.6% of the same inventory that we had last year, and it hasn't changed since last month. And then if we look at prices, this is kind of interesting. Prices are climbing back up in many of the areas because there isn't enough supply. So it's just kind of like the basic rule of supply and demand. If there isn't enough supply and you have a lot of demand, then prices would tend to go up. However, we've just seen a slight decline from the same time last year, less than 1%. So, while there are some people worried about, their equity, I would say, equity is still going to be there. It's just not going to grow at the fast pace that we have seen in recent years. But just over the last month, we're up by 1.3%. So, there isn't a decline. That's what I'm heading to. There is not a decline in home prices. There's just a small adjustment. And then homes sold under a month. These are like the fast closings that we see. And then even though the market isn't moving as fast as it did last year, some homes are still selling very fast when they're priced well, and then they're in good condition. So both of those things are going to be super important when you want to sell fast. And just to compare to where we were at with this metric this last year, it's down by 13.6% compared to last year, but it's up by 2.7% over the last month. So some of the highlights, if you're considering buying or selling a home, you'll want to know what's happening in the market. So what these metrics would mean, we can have a chat about it. Housing inventory is still very low. Prices are still climbing back up, and homes are selling very fast when they're priced right. So if you want more information, please connect with us. We've got all the info that you need, and I'm going to go ahead and put in the link to this blog where you can download some of these great home buyer guides, and these are free downloads. You can do that, and then also things to consider when selling your home. So I will make sure that I link that on the comments section.
Yes, and like just because like over the pandemic the market was crazy. I know we've said that quite a few times. Rates were super low and the housing market was so crazy. But where we're at now, I would say overall is a much more balanced, normal market in
Yeah.
comparison to what we've seen. So some of those stats where it's saying, oh, well, houses are taking longer to sell than last year. Last year in 2019 to 2022 was just kind of a little bit of a different environment economically, the pandemic. So, I mean, I would say where we're at now is much more normal when you look at the overall over, 10, 15 years of where we've been. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that the good homes that are priced well and in great condition are always going to sell faster in whatever type of market we're in. But yes, right now we're starting to see like, more people actually having a chance to like do inspections on their homes and not have to waive appraisals. And like there is some competition, but there isn't that huge rush of buyers and super limited supply that we had last few years. So now it's becoming more of a balanced market. Totally agree.
Yes, absolutely. Let me see what I got here for you guys today. Let's see. Boop. Okay, cool. So if you want to pop that up, I am going to chat about something that has come up on a couple of my buyers here recently, and that is gift funds. So this is always a hot topic because I'm going to talk about what gift funds are, what you need to know about gift funds, and kind of the process of verifying gift funds. So gift funds are when you receive money from an outside person, not somebody on the loan for money for closing or for your deposit on the home. So there's a couple things that have to happen. You have to remember, and the biggest question I get is two things. Why do you like need to know about where the money's coming from for this gift? And I'll get into the second one here in a bit. So when somebody is giving you money for closing, it is becoming your money. And you have to remember that this bank, this institution, this lender, this investor is lending you hundreds of thousands of dollars. It is the biggest purchase of your life in most instances. So we have to verify because they are taking a chance on you that you're going to pay your mortgage every month, that you're going to, have good faith on those funds that they're giving you. So when somebody gives you money for your cash to close, their money is now part of the transaction. That doesn't mean they're on the loan, but we now have to verify those funds. Just as we have to get your bank statements to show the money in your account, we have to verify the gift funds. The first thing about gift funds is that there can be no expectation of repayment. So this is a true gift. So that everybody who does a gift, regardless of the loan program that you're on, has to fill out a gift letter. And I have it right here to kind of show you guys. So
that is so good that you brought the form because everyone's like, well, what do I write on the letter? So that this is a great tool.
Well, and one thing that we do here is we will ask the borrower for the information to put on the gift form. So we keep it really easy. We get all the information, we pre-fill that out for you, and then we will send it to both you, the buyer or buyers, to e-sign, and we'll get the email address of your mom, your cousin, your fiance, whoever it is that is gifting you these funds. And we will send it to them directly for e-sign. One thing to keep in mind, and it sounds kind of silly, but if you are a husband and wife, and let's say that you have accounts that aren't joined, if your husband is giving you money from their individual account into a joint account or giving you money into just in your account, even though you are husband and wife, unless you guys are both on the loan, that is still considered a gift. You have to remember, technically, if we look at the bank statement, those aren't your funds, as if husband has them in just their name. So sometimes it sounds silly, but we still need this form filled out. So we need to know the amount of the gift, the bank name it's coming from, the account number, not as that necessarily. We like the last four. And then what kind of account it is, what relationship you have to the borrower on the loan. And that's important. I'll touch on in a second. And then just information on the donor. It sounds so serious that they call it a donor. It sounds like an organ donor.
It does. It sounds like you're giving blood or a certain organ. Yeah.
Absolutely. I know. It's so funny. So just knowing, and this is the number one thing, if you are getting a gift for closing, do not transfer any money. Do not do anything until you talk to your loan officer, because I will coach you through this process. So, because we want to make sure it's done in the most seamless way possible. The way to do that is, let's say mom is going to give you $10,000 so that you have enough money for closing. The easiest way to do this is for mom not to give the money to you directly. The easiest way is for mom to take her $10,000 and send it directly to the title company, the same spot that you're going to send your money for closing. So we would then use the gift letter to verify the amount. The amount that you put on this gift letter has to match the amount of the gift. That doesn't mean that if we initially say 10,000 and then maybe we don't need as much once all the numbers shake out, we need 8,000, we can always edit this gift letter and have it re-signed. But I always say err on the side of caution and do a little bit more than you need if possible. But just knowing if that amount changes, this does have to be re-signed and revised. But if mom's
amazing, Delaney, I didn't know that you could actually send the gift funds directly to the title company, and that would eliminate so many questioning from like their account statements. Like when underwriters are going through their bank statements, they won't see like a wire transfer for 10 grand from their parents, like have to ask like, where is this coming from? If it goes directly to the title company, that would just make it so much more streamlined, I think.
Absolutely. And the reason I say that is, some people, and it's understandable, some gift donors aren't comfortable with that. They want to give the money directly to their son or, their fiance, whatever it is. So just knowing, and I prime everyone for this, and this is why it's so important to talk to me first, is we have to verify every trail of funds. So if mom gives it to you, we have to show that mom gave it to you, and we have to get an updated transaction summary from your bank showing it going in. So if we want to cut out documentation, just have mom give it to the title company, and then we don't have to show any of that. So that's what I tell people first before they transfer it. And as soon as somebody is applying,
that's a good tip.
Yes. And as soon as somebody applies for a mortgage and says, I'm going to get a gift, I say, you need to prime your gift donor for what we need. We're going to need this information. They're going to sign a form, and ask first if they're comfortable to send it directly to title. Being able as the buyer to talk to your parents or whoever this is about what we will need, instead of not knowing those things and having to say, hey, mom, I need a bank statement. Hey, mom, I need you to sign this throughout the process, really cuts down. Because what I've learned is people just want to know what to expect. So I have a whole little thing I go through if you're getting a gift. So you have to fill out the gift letter. Now, the last thing I'll talk about is the amount of documentation needed on a gift is different depending on your loan type. So conventional, all we need is this gift letter. And if you send it directly to title, we will get the receipt from title. We don't even need anything else from you. And that receipt will show that they did a check or they did a wire, and it'll show your parents or whoever's name. So we can verify, okay, it did come from Bank of America to match the gift letter. It was $10,000. It was this account number. So we can match that up behind the scenes. On FHA, VA, well, not on VA, but FHA and USDA, we have to show a 30-day bank statement from the gift donor. So that is very important to prime the donor for that before we need it. Because one of the most pain points that I see in the process is that the gift donor does not feel comfortable with providing their bank statement. And this just comes down to underwriter guidelines. Point blank, we have to follow what the guidelines are for the loan program if we want that loan. I wish I had say in that. Unfortunately, I don't. But before you get the gift, telling your parents, hey, listen, I'm doing an FHA loan, and FHA requires me to give a 30-day bank statement to show that you have the money to give me. They have to verify where it came from. So same thing, if mom sends it to the title company, we'll get that receipt, but we'll also get her bank statement to show she has the money to give to you. So telling your mom up front, here's the 4 things that go into you giving me the money, and Delaney needs these things. It makes it a lot easier. I am happy to call your mom or your dad and explain this as well. I've done that dozens of times. I can pretty much give the warm and fuzzies. And by the end of it, they're like, I completely get it. I'll send it to you. They can email it directly to me. A lot of times it's that the parent doesn't feel comfortable with showing the child, for example, their entire bank statement. Last thing I'll say is that nothing can be blacked out. That's another one. So I'll get bank statements a lot of times. Hey, I'm the mom. Here's my bank statement that I have the 10,000, but they'll black out the account number. They'll black out everything except that line item. That is not allowed. We cannot have any documentation for your loan that is redacted, crossed out, or written on. Sounds silly, but technically, if you're looking at it from like a compliance standpoint, that document has been manipulated. So they need fresh originals. So that's just some things on gift funds to keep in mind. I will walk you through this. There is no reason that you need to handle any of this. I will walk through it. I will hold your hand through it, but it's just something that has came up a couple times. And the bottom line is explaining these things up front is so important, instead of being like, hey mom, I need you to sign this. I need a bank statement. I need this. Like, just knowing how to make it as streamlined is really important. So that's my little TED talk for today.
Oh, I love that. And this just kind of comes down to like setting proper expectations, which is always so helpful in any situation, because I feel like a lot of times these people that want to do the gift fund is because they really care about the buyer. I mean, they care enough to like want to give them a gift so that they could buy the home. So, but they don't realize like what it means. They have to actually show documentation as to where the funds are coming from. So just setting the right expectations might actually make that so much easier. And I think a lot of times it's just the expectations are not set just because they might not know. So I hope that this is helpful in that situation.
Oh, last thing, very, very, very important. So you want to make sure it's coming from an account. Very important. I had a buyer recently who, hey, dad's going to get the money. It's going to come from their Bank of America account. Well, next thing you know, I see in the bank statement, the dad wanted it directly to the buyer. He did not feel comfortable wiring it. So I got the updated bank statement and it just had $10,000 ATM deposit. So I then asked the buyer, hey, I thought he was doing it from Bank of America, for example. She's like, yeah, well, he didn't feel comfortable. He wanted to do cash. So that is not off the table, but we have to show $10,000 withdraw the same day or within a day or two to match that up. But he used it from a wooden box in his gun safe. So you want to make sure that it is 1000% verifiable. So no cash, check, wire, transfer. Those are your 3 ways. So mom and dad don't just give cash, and they can't just deposit cash into their account and give it to you. So we want to go through that. That's my last thing.
Awesome. Hey, quick question. When they do send the gift funds to the title company at the time of closing on the settlement statement, does that get put into the settlement statement as like escrow funds? Does it get like put in with like your earnest money deposit and that type of thing?
Absolutely. Yep. So we want the donor to do this the week of closing. They can do it as soon as they want once you're under contract as well. But I like to wait till the week of closing because we'll have more definitive figures for everyone. But on your settlement statement and on your closing disclosure, the bottom line amount, if they send it to title, would be whatever is in addition to that gift. So there's a line item that will say gift funds, $10,000. So it'll be credited to you because title already has it. And then that bottom line is what you need in addition. That's very important. And I explain that because we don't want them to think that that is including the gift. So I'll go over all of that, but it is on the closing documents.
Makes sense. Awesome. Wow, this was super valuable. I love this. I think that setting the right expectations truly just makes a huge difference. And if the expectations aren't set up correctly, it's because they probably don't know what the expectation is. So hopefully that this will be serving well for them.
Yes. And so I have a couple fun events to wrap up. So Midsummer Night Out is tonight, our little chat box that likes to hang out with us.
Always.
This is a first of its kind event, and it is from UNF Shakespeare. It has food, everything has food and drinks. We love that.
Yes, you
Um,
gotta have food.
yes, and I thought this was kind of fun because if you're single and ready to mingle, they have a live DJ and even speed dating. So 6:30 to 9 tonight, and it is at UNF, and so it'll just be a little fun event that I thought was kind of different. And look at this flyer. I love this.
That is so pretty. Yes.
Yes,
Wow.
yes, yes. And here is it's $15 to $25. Here's the address as well. And then next, I have the First Coast Music Festival. I didn't even know this was a thing, so I thought this was really cool. Have you heard of this?
No, what's the First Coast Music Festival?
I know, right? So it's a multi-genre, all ages event that showcases Jacksonville's best independent artists that compete for your vote to win a cash prize. So it's also interactive, which I always think is cool. And it's supporting local artists. So this has over 50 performing acts, 3 stages. It's downtown Jacksonville tomorrow. Excuse me. And so there you can get an all access VIP pass if you want. And off Ocean Street, it's $30 and it's right downtown. So if you're looking for something fun to walk around in, it doesn't say there will be food and drinks there, but let's get real. There will be food
There
and
will
drinks.
be food and drinks, yes. The crowd, I'm sure there will be.
Absolutely. Everything. I love that food trucks are so like trendy right now because it just makes it so easy. Another spot that will have food and drinks is the downtown Jacksonville First Wednesday Art Walk. So this is every month, the first Wednesday of every month. So this is going to be this coming Wednesday, August 2nd, I believe. I just did that in my head.
Yes, August 2nd. Very good head.
Perfect. So it is downtown 5 to 9, and it's been going on since 2003. It has local artisans, foods, drinks, music. So if you're looking for like, it has a lot of really cool local artists. I went one time and there were like these glow in the dark, really cool, like different art prints and things. So if you're looking for some like homemade beauty products, they have this guy who does all sorts of wood things. It's really cool. So just something to check out and kind of look forward to. So a lot of festivals here in Jacksonville, a lot of shows, a lot of sports. So it's definitely a fun place to be if you are looking for a lot of different types of events to do.
That's amazing. Yeah, and there's usually food trucks in every one of the events. What's your favorite food truck, lady?
Ooh, they do Friday food trucks at our neighborhood every single time. And this is such a funny name, but it's a Mexican food truck and it's come to our neighborhood probably 4 or 5 times over like the time. And I love it. It's called the Chubby Burrito.
I'll have to check it out. Is it good?
Oh my God, their quesadilla and their tacos and burritos are so good. So I like them, but there's a lot and there's every kind. Like there's dessert food trucks. So they'll have funnel cakes or ice cream. There's coffee food trucks. Like it's really fun. Do you have a favorite?
I do. There's one that's Mediterranean food. What's it called? Is it tzatziki? Basmati? I can't even think of the name of it right now, but it is so good. And then there's another one with Filipino food. It's actually not very big, but they have the halo halo, the one with the crushed ice and the fruits in it. I love that. So I think that one, it's just one of my favorites, the Filipino and the Mediterranean food truck. Saffron, that's what it's called. Saffron.
Oh my gosh. Yes, I've had it before. So good. They put like the lamb or chicken on the little stick.
Yeah, the kebabs. Yeah, and then you can get that with salad or you can get that with some basmati rice. I love that kind of food. That's like one of my favorite food trucks.
Oh my God, it's only 10:30 and I'm like ready for lunch.
Ready for lunch. Yeah, me too. This is making me hungry thinking about all this. Well, this is so much fun. Thank you so much for joining us today, guys. I think that's it, right, Delaney? We wrapped it up. We've got everything. Yeah. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. So remember, we do this every Friday at 10 a.m. So please share this information with anyone that could benefit from it. Like I said, we're here to provide all this knowledge and hopefully help you get all that you need to get started in your path to homeownership. Really, to be honest, the first thing that you need is a pre-approval. So, if you're serious about making a purchase, the first thing that you need to do is just reach out to Delaney, get your pre-approval. And then once we know the amount that you've been approved for, then I come in and I help you figure out like what's important to you in the home. What are some of the great matches that we can find based on what you've been approved for, and then help you through that process. So there is a way that we can do this to make it happen streamlined and very easy for you. So please connect with us. And until next time, remember to be kind to one another. And we'll see you guys on next week's video. Take care. Bye. Oh, wait.